Comes up. Does he get? Where does he get to? I think he gets to about this. No, he doesn't even get even near to the level of the rear wheel.
But Morad was aware. He actually gave him a bit of space. He didn't turn in for his apex. He obviously saw something coming.
Well, he suspected there was something coming. He did a good job. He gave that little bit of space to allow himself to get through the corner. Otherwise, it would have been contact.
Philippe Albuquerque running strongly in second position here. And this is turning out to be a solid start to the season from Team Portugal, particularly with that victory last time out in Chengdu. That first win is often the harbinger of some more good results, and it seems to be the case here for Team Portugal. They've been solid all weekend in both qualifying sessions, and they're still keeping that pressure on Ireland, even though the gap is still opening up a bit.
It's opening up by a few tenths. I mean, literally the last lap Ireland did a 50.4. That's their personal best. 50.9 on the last lap for Portugal. So there's a tenth here, a tenth there. Ireland needs to keep this pressure up because we just have no idea. 15 laps of this race remaining, just under 30 minutes.
Yep, still some way to go, and the guys will be looking forward to the second pit stops relatively soon. 19 laps completed, as you say, and the window opens on lap 20, so we're not far off some more pit lane action here. Meanwhile, Great Britain's still going round. Another quick lap from Danny Watts, but he's a lap down, as I mentioned, after that incident earlier on where he lost the front wing as they all tried to go three abreast into turn 9. He'd made a poor getaway, but was trying to find his way back through the order, and it all turned to dust, I'm afraid. Whereas his great friend and rival, Adam Carroll here, he's had a very clear run so far. From pole position, Adam is in charge of this race by nearly 6 seconds. It's a 5.9 to be exact as they cross the line this time.
Yeah, times almost identical lap times to the 1,000th of a second. So Portugal, Philippe Albuquerque, he drove such a strong race in Chengdu, and again repeating that performance. And he's the only nation right now in the circuit, along with Ireland, that are running at a pace. The others are running the best part of 1 to 1.5 seconds a lap slower than the two leading cars.
Then it's USA running third, South Africa fourth. You're watching them now with Australia, the yellow and green colours, the Jackaroo in fifth place, Brazil in sixth, New Zealand in seventh. Not closing up that much, he's a little quicker. Now what's going on here? Netherlands trying to get past Lebanon. The Netherlands going around the outside. Jeroen Blekemolen desperately trying to hold on.
But he isn't going to. Lebanon's not going to concede. Indonesia did, but Lebanon is not going to concede. Daniel Murad is very, very feisty.
He is, but Jeroen Blekemolen feels he's got nothing to lose, I would think, after running so strongly in the early part of this race. He could have been in third place now if he hadn't had that drive-through.
A lot of people could have been in third place. Danny Watts for Team GBR could have been in third place. France probably could have been in third place. But ifs, ands or buts aren't going to get the results.
Nope, you've got to be there and you've got to avoid all the incidents. He did have that clash with India on the opening lap. There's Team USA then, Marco Andretti, with the Andretti Green Racing team looking after the operation in only their second full event with this car, and having rebuilt it after the accident earlier. This is remarkable, and he's got a brand new set of tyres.
Yeah, he needs them because South Africa is still so close. 1.8 seconds and Adrian Zaug, he can see the back of the Team USA car. Once you sense that you've got the car within your grasp, that's the incentive you need.
Still watching from the back of the Lebanon car, Daniel Murad trying to protect that position from the Netherlands. In fact, they're in the points here, you know, so this is well worth Netherlands fighting for, because Jeroen Blekemolen knows if he can get past the Lebanon car, then he will be in the points again.
A little bit of understeers, he comes into the corner, under brakes, see the car sliding under power out, so the run all the way up. Netherlands on power boost, they've got some available. He's coming, watch the Lebanon car dive one way, no, he stays on the right hand side of the track. Can he go through on the inside? Well, Lebanon's going into the pits. What's it done to Netherlands?
Netherlands with Jeroen Blekemolen.
I tell you, it was a smart bit of driving by Daniel Murad for Lebanon.
Yeah, but he was probably called in anyway, wasn't he? But he made the most of it.
Yeah, but he sold him a dummy.
Yeah,
he sold him a dummy.
Clever stuff from Daniel Murad. Into the pits come quite a few cars. New Zealand at the front of the queue. USA, crucial stop for Marco Andretti. These guys are very used to pit stops and they get him away cleanly. There was a slight hiccup, but actually it was a quick stop. 11.6, not the fastest.
I think that was quicker than 11.6 because he was rolling before the clock stopped, and I would say that was nearer to sort of mid-10, but nonetheless, good stop for Team USA. Get their man back out. They have to get out ahead of South Africa. Yeah,
New Zealand have gained there, I'm sure. That was a very quick stop by the New Zealand crew once again. Italy and Lebanon continue on their way. Malaysia, of course, having made the extra stop for unknown reasons earlier on, now have done their proper stop. and they rejoin. There's the lapped car of Team GBR.
They're still running down in 16th place. Danny Watts has been running at the pace of the front runners that last lap. Very much slower, we're not quite certain as to why.
Interesting, New Zealand. Now, it's a good stop by New Zealand, but we don't really know how good it was until we see the likes of South Africa, Australia and Brazil make their stops, because those were the guys that he was behind, and we're waiting for them to come in. They've gone a little deeper into the race. There's France making their second stop. Poor old Loic Duval, he's been one of the quickest guys out there, but that's what you get, a puncture and an extra pit stop, you're out of the game. There's second place man, Portugal, Filipe Albuquerque, and it looks as though they're getting ready for their stop.
Yes, and they've lost over a second on the last couple of laps. The gap between Ireland leading, there we look into the Ireland garage, and they're under no rush whatsoever to get Adam Carroll in. He's got France ahead, but that will be France having to concede track position to let the Irish car get through. 6.8 seconds, those huge boots going on to Team Portugal will give them a boost on the initial first 2 or 3 laps. Once then the tyre stabilises, the pace of the two cars, Ireland and Portugal, will again return to where they've been.
Got potential for more changes coming up, because South Africa and Australia have just come into the pits. There you go. South Africa led Australia in. God, look at Australia. They're so fast on their pit stops, and they're going to get Australia out ahead of South Africa. Australia have done it again. They are absolutely brilliant on the stops.
Yeah, and South Africa had been bearing down on Marco Andretti and Team USA, and has lost that position to Australia. That'll be a frustration for Adrian Dowd.
So away goes John Martin. Now where's New Zealand? There's USA. Yes. So John Martin behind.
New Zealand coming here. So it's 4 cars all running in comparable pace and battling for position.
So with 12 laps to go, and there might be a few changes still there. Earl Bamber trying to close up now to the back of Adrian Zhao for South Africa, who lost out to the quick pit work of Team Australia.
Ireland coming in this lap. It's a good entry. Careful, slow down that corner. That's a tight corner. There's not a lot of width in the pit lane at that particular point. Hard as you can drive the car, then get the speed off. There's the line. In fact, in Chengdu, Ireland felt that Adam Carroll's in lap was fractionally slower than Portugal, and I think that's where they possibly lost the chance of a victory in the feature race.
Well, they've got a 6-second advantage this time, so in a way he doesn't need to run it to the limit. They've got a new set of tyres as well, so this should help. Another quick one. Away
I don't know where they actually stopped the clock. The car's rolling considerably, but same we saw that just a few moments ago in Ireland, showing 10.8.
Portugal in as well from second place there, but he'll see Adam Carroll rolling down the pit lane. Filipe Albuquerque will know he's got a new set of tyres as well, but it's going to be hard to close up that gap. Quick stuff from them as well, but really no change between the top two.
It's visual and it's hard to judge what that is. It's going to be certainly around the 5 to 6 second range.
So he rejoins. He's got a car, the Netherlands car. That could be tricky in a way, because the Dutch car is going quite quickly, but it's out of position effectively after that drive-through penalty earlier.
Yeah, they've still got to make their second round of pit stops for tyres, as we see Clivio Piccioni in the pit lane.
Yes, indeed. He's just coming in for team... well, actually, no, he had that problem earlier, didn't he? Monaco. I think he's coming back out, isn't he? So first time we've seen him for a long time. Brazil, meanwhile, that's fairly important for Brazil, because they're in that other group. Yeah, Brazil's been passed by New Zealand there.
Yeah, and did he cross the line? Not Monaco, of course, running down in 17th and last position, and that would have been a frustration, because he would have had to wait until he passed the pit lane line exit before he could attempt to pass the Monaco car.
Yeah, and Monaco going very steadily as he waits for the other cars to get past him. Now they're watching with Jeroen Bleekemolen. And I think he's done pretty well here, because he's now made... we're waiting for an extra pit stop, of course. He's made a drive-through penalty, so we're waiting for him to come in.
Yeah,
so that will drop him back down again.
But what was interesting to the fans here in Malaysia was the
Danny Watts being pushed away, John.
Pushed away, indeed. France now got the fastest single lap. Malaysia did a stunning lap as well, 1:49.7. That's now been eclipsed by France, of 49.033. Loic Duval, he may be running in 15th place. He wants that 1 point for fastest lap.
So all over for Team GBR, and no points have been scored here at Sepang this year by the British team, and that's going to be a huge dent to their hopes for the series. Meanwhile, Marco Andretti still going well for Team USA, still running effectively in third, although we're waiting for a couple more to make their second pit stops, and then for the timing to reset itself. But look, Andretti's not got away from John Martin, has he?
No, but more critically, the gap between Ireland and Portugal has just about doubled. It's up to 10.2 seconds.
Right, so that stop was quicker from the Team Ireland. and Portugal did lose out a little bit.
I think it was more. There's a 2 minutes 21.5 was the lap in and back out again.